Hi friends, it's Victor Costa, Peace, Love, and Muscles. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having an outstanding day. You know, it's very popular to say, I'm going to the gym to kill my chest. I'm going to the gym to kill my arms. I'm going to the gym to kill my back. But that's not what we really want to do, right? We want to go to the gym to stimulate the body, to train the body. We don't want to kill anything. When we train too hard and we create too much trauma in the body, our bodies don't recognize our workouts as such. They can't tell the difference between whether or not we've been in some kind of an accident or we just had a good workout. When you're damaging the body or creating this controlled trauma, what you want to do is create enough so that you have the ability to rebound from this trauma. We always talk about recovery from workouts, but recovery really means this. It really means having the trauma and then recovering from it. You know, when you get the flu, right, that you feel like garbage and then you just hope to recover from the flu. You're not effectively better or in a better position than you were before, you've just recovered. What we want to do, guys, is we want to rebound. We want to create this body part controlled trauma. And what we want to do is train the body into doing this. When I think of training, I don't think of the exercises themselves as training. I think of doing this and training my body to do this, to accept the stimulus, to understand or decode what I'm trying to do, and then to help me rebound to where I want to get better, right, than I was before, not just break even, not just recover. And you can do that when you don't create too much trauma. If I create too much trauma and kill my chest or kill my thighs, I'm going to probably try to be breaking even the rest of the week. My body's going to try to figure out how to recover from this crazy workout that I just did, try to fulfill all the things that I have to do outside of my training life, and then it's going to have to kind of figure out what tomorrow's workout is about while it's trying to recover from the previous day. So we tend to think of our bodies as sort of a collection of body parts when it's really one unit, right, that has to get on the same page. And when you create too much trauma, right, you have a hard time just breaking even. And most of us spend our time doing this, which is why you see people who look the same effectively day in and day out for years. They don't get any bigger, they don't get any stronger, and they get frustrated that results aren't happening. Sometimes you have to pull back. Instead of trying harder and driving down a one-way street the wrong way and going faster, pull back a little bit. Give yourself a little less trauma and see if you can recover from it. Think of it as, or rebound from it. Think of it as getting a paper cut. When you get a paper cut, you're healed in a couple of days. When you get a really, really deep cut, you may have that scar for the rest of your life. I want you to think of it in those terms. A little stimulus, and see if your body can kind of figure out what you're trying to do, you know? This is the training. You're trying to train your body to rebound. It's not this, it's not the pounding all the time that's the training. It's this, okay? And when you're natural, you have to finesse the body. Your body has to decode what you're trying to do, and you have to give it some time. You have to use your intelligence rather than just, you know, pounding the crap out of yourself. Remember, this is a live unit. You're not working with brick and mortar. You're working with flesh and blood and bone and everything like that. So there's this understanding of what you're working with before you go ahead and start pounding and pounding and pounding. Because if my workouts are so intense that I continuously pound, I may be just breaking even or barely breaking even all the time. And that recovery, or even just to getting back to even, will also depend on how good my nutrition is, how much rest I'm getting in terms of sleep. So there's this dance between the nutrition, how much sleep you're getting, how much time in between the body parts that you're doing, but also how much stimulus are you giving the body? Are you giving it the right amount of stimulus for all of those other factors? If you're training super duper duper hard and creating this kind of trauma, but your nutrition's not on point and your resting is not on point, and then you go in the gym the next day and do that to another body part, how is the body unit receiving that? So today is just a common sense approach, a common sense video to get you to stop thinking about pounding the body. Yes, if you're on every thing in the pharmacy, all right, it's a little bit different, right? You can go at this with a different kind of fervor. But when you're natural and you're just working with what you've got, you got to use your intelligence. Try to finesse the body. Try to train it into this. And that may be pulling back a little bit on your workouts in terms of your intensity. If you're able to pull back on the intensity and start training your body into doing this, right? Or pulling back a little bit on how much time you're spending in the gym, or eating a little bit more, you may find that your groove, that's what you're trying to think about. This is what you're trying to find. It's the groove of recovery. And it feels really good, and you never feel wasted. You feel like things are progressing. And one of the signs of overtraining is lack of progress, right? So for all of you guys out there and gals who are training super duper duper hard, you may be trying too hard, and you may just be on the cusp of training your body how to recover like that or rebound like that. And I want you to think of that as the mission. This is the mission, to get your body to do this, not the mission of feeling spent and wasted every minute of the day of your training. That's a feeling of accomplishment sometimes, and a good feeling of satisfaction when you've put in a good day's work. But if it's conflicting with what you're trying to accomplish, then you don't get gold stars for that. You know, there is something to be said for that trial and error period of understanding what the pain is about, understanding how hard training works, and so everything adds up. There is experience in that. But again, if you're frustrated and you're not experiencing this, pull back a little bit. Try to find the right amount of stimulus, right? Maybe pull back on a set or two, maybe cut down from 12 reps to 10 reps. And then, or maybe just do 2 exercises instead of 3, and then see what happens. Just, this is a trial and error thing. Everybody is different. Everybody's an individual. But you want to keep the nutrition good, because that supports all of the rebound, right? You want to keep the rest good, and I mean rest in terms of getting enough hours of sleep. There's competing thoughts about hours of sleep. I have a really great friend who's a Yale neurologist who said 7 hours is perfect. I would say for those extreme athletes and people like who are doing very hard sports, and also at the same time trying to have a job and other things like that, I think you need about 8 or maybe even 9, especially if you're younger. So anyway, that's a mouthful for now, but I want you guys to think of that. Think of this. Think of, how do I get this to happen? How do I get my body to start understanding and decoding my workouts? And if it's not decoding your workouts properly, there's something amiss. And we can always talk a little bit more about that. So by the way, I do offer workouts. Go into the description portion of this video and you'll see a link. Please follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And I wish you guys all the best in good health, peace, love, and muscles. Sorry it was so long-winded. And now we flex.